Now for an expert's take on the latest inter-Korean exchanges and politics behind the upcoming Winter Games, Professor Shin Sang-hyup, Professor of Pan-Pacific International Studies at Kyung Hee University, now joins us in the studio. Thank you so much, Professor.
Great to be here.
For coming in today. So the two-day joint training session of ski athletes from both Koreas were held at North Korea's much talked about Masikryong Ski Resort. And today, another North Korean team, including 10 athletes who will compete at the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics, will soon arrive here in South Korea. What's your overall impression of inter-Korean exchanges so far?
Well, even though very recently North Korean government called off our joint cultural performances, which was scheduled to be held in Kumgang Mountain. But so far so good, that's my assessment. But we have to wait for a while, because there are many other events arranged by the South and North Korean governments to keep the mood alive of cooperation between two Koreas. But one thing which I want to underline is that, the most important point we have to pay attention to is whether this kind of talks, started for the Pyeongchang Winter Olympic Games can be a beginning of the talk for the denuclearization of North Korea.
Right.
But we have to wait and see. Based on this one, we can assess the effectiveness of the talks for the Winter Olympic Games.
Now, about the abrupt cancellation of the joint inter-Korean cultural event that was supposed to be held at Mount Kumgang Resort during the Pyeongchang Games, North Korea is reportedly citing South Korean media coverage of the Pyeongchang Games involving North Korea as one reason why they canceled it all of a sudden. What do you think is behind North Korea's?
Well, they want to give us a very clear message. The first one is that they can play a very important role for the successful Pyeongchang Olympic Games. By giving such a message to South Korean government, they want to take the initiatives in a series of talks for the Winter Olympic Games. Second one is actually they want to test the responses of the United States government and South Korean government for the future relations between North Korea and USA and South Korea. That means that, as you know, one of the main reasons why South Korean government has proposed the talks for the Winter Olympic Games is to have the talks for denuclearization of North Korea. But in fact, by having such a kind of posture, stance, they want to, North Koreans can guess the future responses from the USA and South Korea. Well, right now, USA has taken the initiatives in imposing economic sanctions, and they even stepped up pressure on North Korean government. So by checking the response from the USA government, they want to prepare for their future policies toward the USA and the many countries participating in economic sanctions.
So they wanted to test the U.S. government's response. Now, the chartered plane with South Korean ski athletes on board, couldn't take off on Wednesday until the very last minute due to Washington's independent sanction imposed on North Korea-bound flights. Now, the South Korean government later explained that the U.S. gave an exception to that chartered plane, but some still question why that arrangement couldn't have been made sooner.
Well, there could be several ways explain the situation, but one which can be accepted by many experts is the South Korean government did not have enough negotiation with the USA about this issue. I think the USA government indirectly expressed their uncomfortableness about this joint training. That means that, according to the principles of the violation, the economic sanctions imposed by the USA and particularly USA government, is that any aircraft which visited to North Korea for about the 130 days, they cannot visit to the USA, even though there are some ambiguity in the interpreting the rule. Somebody said that's the applicable to the airplane itself. But somebody said, no, the airliners who possess that airplane could not send the aircraft to USA. But anyway, regardless of which one is correct, USA government approved this flight. This time, they said that this is the U.S. economic sanctions exemption. But definitely the message which can get from the situation is that South Korean government should be more careful in the discussion about North Korean issues with the United States. Otherwise, there could be some possibility of misused each other, which is not very good for the future efforts to make North Korea give up their nuclear programs.
So then can we say that the U.S. was somewhat discomforted by the recent thaw in inter-Korean relations when they're pushing for their maximum pressure policy on the Kim Jong-un regime?
I think so. But officially, USA government made it clear that they put the first priority on maximum economic sanctions on North Korea in order to change their mind. In order to let North Korea give up their nuclear program. At the State of the Union address, President Trump made it clear that they are facing imminent threats because of North Korean nuclear, bombs, nuclear attack. So definitely USA want to keep this the stance. That means that they will try to step up their pressure on the North Korean government in order to let them give up their nuclear programs.
Now, staying with U.S. President Trump's State of the Union speech, it was much smoother. No provocative words like rocket man this time. But still, he doubled down on his hardline North Korea policy. How did you interpret his speech?
Yes, again, he made it clear that the USA will wait and see. But they do not want to repeat the same mistakes what the USA government made. That means that without denuclearization of North Korea, definitely there will be no further talks for the peace. So they put the denuclearization of North Korea as a prerequisite for the peaceful talks between USA government and the North Korea. But this is very important for us. I don't know how I can explain this one, but there could be slight differences between USA government stance and South Korean government stance in dealing with North Korean nuclear issues. President Moon Jae-in has emphasized that he will make every effort to start the talks with North Koreans. Of course, he will make every effort to change the North Koreans, giving up their nuclear programs. It seems to be very similar, but I think there must be some slight differences. So that's the reason why I emphasize that South Korean government should have enough discussion, talks with the USA government before making any decisions toward North Korea. Otherwise, I think there will be some miscommunications and misunderstanding between Korean government and USA government. At the moment, I think reduce those kind of possibility as much as we can seems to be very important for the future talks with North Koreans.
So I guess South Korea and the U.S. need to strike out their slight differences that appears to exist. Now, some 26 heads of state as well as high-ranking officials will be visiting South Korea during the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics. And President Moon Jae-in will likely discuss a lot more than figure skating and speed skating with those leaders. What would be President Moon's primary goal when holding those multilateral talks?
Well, definitely President Moon wanted to explain the Korean government policy in dealing with the North Korean nuclear crisis. As I explained very briefly already, the South Korean government led by President Moon Jae-in emphasized the beginning of the talk with North Koreans. And of course, that can be the beginning of the talks for the denuclearization of North Koreans. And secondly, at the moment, South Korean government, President Moon Jae-in, want to make it clear that Korea will stick to the economic sanctions on the North Korea, along with the many countries around the world. So he wants to make this message clearer. By doing so, he wanted to I mean, he want to empathize that Korea is taking a step with the USA and with other countries around the world.
Now, the withdrawal of Victor Cha by the Trump administration as the nominee for U.S. ambassador to South Korea is sparking fresh fears here in South Korea because Victor Cha recently warned the White House against a preventive military strike. Then does that mean that the White House is looking for someone who will agree to a preventive military strike? Do we need to be worried?
Well, personally, I was very surprised to hear the news about Victor Cha, and then we have to wait and see. And in other words, we have to be very careful to interpret the meaning of this case. But at the moment, many experts agreed that the USA certainly take the military preventive, provocative, the military strike on the table. Certainly one of the options available to the USA government in dealing with the North Korean nuclear crisis. But certainly it could not be very easy though. Why? Because already many experts warned if the USA launched strike on some spots, nuclear spots in North Korea, it required a huge number of the lives. And then it is very meaningful, very, very threatful for us because that we will be the first victims of such kind of the military strike. So definitely at this stage, what I can say is that USA will not take this option easily. And on the part of South Korean government, we have to keep the channels with the USA government, at least prevent USA government from taking the unilateral decision. Definitely that will be very important, and I think that USA will have the discussion, enough discussion with South Korean government because we have been an ally over the last several decades.
Well, I certainly hope so. And any possibility of the U.S. and North Korea holding talks during the Pyeongchang Winter Olympics? Some say it's very unlikely. Some say Olympics is the best time for the two sides to meet.
Well, officially, USA government drew the line that there will be no official contact between USA and North Korea. But during the Winter Olympic Games, they happen to meet each other. So maybe they're professional diplomats, they're professional government officials. What I mean, I underline the professional. That means they want to keep on checking each other for the future possible talks. But at the moment, officially, there would be no official contacts between USA and North Korea.
Okay, Professor Shin, I have one more question before you go. We have about a minute left. President Moon Jae-in has said that the recent inter-Korean talks and exchanges are a very important first step in reopening a channel between the two Koreas, and that he will gradually build up the talks so the two can ultimately address the issue of North Korea's nuclear standstill. How long do you expect? How long until the two Koreas can get down to serious talks of North Korea's nuclear issue? Well,
to make a long story short, my answer is that the South Korean government does not have much time. Because, after the Pyeongchang Olympic Games, what kind of expectations Korean will have or the people around the world would have? Without beginning of the different round of talks for denuclearization of North Korea, the North Korea, the President Moon's policy could be criticized by the Koreans as well as the peoples around the world. So definitely during the Pyeongchang Olympic Games, South Korean government will make every effort to persuade North Koreans to the importance of the talks for the denuclearization of North Korea. But so far, the North Korean government has emphasized that that is not subject to the talks between two Koreas or between North Korea and the United States. This is the very important differences between USA and Korea and North Korea. But I want to quote one of the old sayings, that is, well beginning is half done. So I want to put more priorities on the beginning of talks for the Pyeongchang Olympic Games, and we will wait and see. But I hope North Koreans change their mind, and then they could sit at the table for the denuclearization of their nuclear program. That will be a kind of win-win strategies for North Koreans and USA and South Korea, I think.
All right. Thank you so much, Professor Shin, for coming in and sharing your perspectives
My
with
pleasure.
us.